is a paid program. JJ Publicidad, EMR, and its owners and associates take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the talk show host or their guest.
Are you looking for awareness, motivation, inspiration, or just some feel-good talk radio? If so, you've come to the right place. Dr. Nancy knows how to do just that. With her extensive experience and knowledge, she is dedicated to providing care, health, and wellness information and education to the greater Phoenix metropolitan area and beyond. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Dr. Nancy knows. Starts now.
Good morning, everyone. It's your celebrity medical doctor, and this is Dr. Nancy Knows Radio Talk Show. It's December 19th. Is everyone ready for Christmas? I am. It's still chilly here, and I know it is in most parts of the country, so bundle up if you all are out and about. Shopping and taking care of those last minute things that you need to for your loved ones. Here at Dr. Nancy Knows Radio Talk Show, we bring on expert guests that are, experts in their field of industry, along with celebrity guests. So that the guests and celebrities, they got to be doing lots of things in the community to give back. Because here at the radio show, we love people that, extend their heart and their love and give back. And it's just the simplest things. It's not always money. And we are so grateful to be a blessing to others. Thanks for tuning in this morning. And, we are multicultural here at Dr. Nancy Knows Radio Talk Show. And we highlight and debut a number of individuals across the nation that are impacting individuals' lives in a way that they want to go out and share the love and continue to pay it forward. We'd like to thank our sponsors and supporters of the show as well. And listen, guys, if you like my makeup, it is by Maggie. She's a member of our team, Dr. Nancy's Integrative Medicine, a licensed makeup artist, and she makes me up every Saturday, and it just makes me feel so good. I'm addicted now, and she is available for hire. So if you are interested, just reach out and give us a call, and you can schedule, and we will have that available for you. It's 480-669-6452. Our sponsors, Profit Laser Lipo, Dantum Construction. We have Beauty with a Motive, as well as Sonoma Oral Facial Surgery, our folks down in Gilbert, Arizona. We love our supporters, and it doesn't take much to give back, and I've been told that I do a lot, and I do a lot because I've been giving a lot, and I've been blessed to do so. And if it's the last thing that I do, it will be giving, because that's the right thing to do. We live in a time right now that our families, our loved ones, our co-workers are having a difficult time, not just because of the holidays, because sometimes the holidays can bring sadness, not always, but it can. But we're dealing with unprecedented times right now, and this is the time that we all as a nation should unite with one another and give back and lead with love. Be the change that you wish to see in this world, and it only takes one, the power of one. Let's talk about current events. The vaccine arrived here in most of the states already, and most of your cities as well. It is being rolled out in phases. So phase 1 is still in progress, full force. Our first responders, firefighters, hospital workers, doctors and nurses, they're getting the much needed vaccines right now. And I just want to shout out to all of our healthcare providers that are on the first line. It is not easy. As you know, I've got 25 years of experience. My last 10 years was in emergency medicine cities as well, right before COVID hit, actually. And I do know all too well of how important it is to see a friendly, helping face in a time when your loved ones need healthcare services, such as the emergency medicine or trauma, or, even your healthcare clinics and offices. The healthcare providers are superheroes in my book. So kudos to you. The vaccine is proposed to increase an individual's immunoglobulin G antibodies. Those are the good antibodies to build up an immunity against COVID. So for those of you that have access to it in phase 1, I do recommend that it's available. Phase 2 will be rolled out for our elderly and nursing home individuals, and then phase 3 will be for all of the rest of the nation. Dr. Nancy's Integrative Medicine has applied to make the vaccine available. So we're waiting on approval, and we will let you know as soon as we do get word back that the federal government is offering it to all that want it, and Dr. Nancy's Integrative Medicine would like to be a part of being accessible for those that need it and want it as well. It's going to be available in 2 phases, is what we're being told. The first shot on day 1, and then a second one on day 14 through day 21st for full immunity to take part. Both series of injections are recommended that you have. And it is to build eventually herd immunity through our nation so that we can get past this and move on. As many of us have adjusted, it's still, we're still trying to work this all out. And again, we can do this all together. We can do it all together. So I'd like to offer Dr. Nancy's Integrative Medicine still has available a $25 gift card for all that want still need gifts, and you can take part of it and on it of your own on all of the services that we offer. We offer rapid COVID testing. That's both blood and the PCR nose test. So a $25 gift card can go a long way. And guess what, everyone? You can pass that on and pay it forward. So it's the gift that keeps on giving through the new year. We are available for all of your health and wellness needs here at Dr. Nancy's Integrative Medicine. We offer telemedicine for those individuals that need that convenience. We offer primary care services along with strong immunity services to include IV vitamin drip and vitamin injections. Did you all know that vitamin D levels are important for, of course, strong bones and teeth, but it is also very, very helpful in building your immune system. And so it is so much more than if you're deficient in vitamin D, or even if you have normal levels. It is recommended that individuals stay on the high normal end of vitamin D. So to adjunct the supplementation that you may get or be taking for vitamin D and getting it through your leafy greens in your diet, we do offer vitamin D supplemental injections to boost that immune system at Dr. Nancy's Integrative Medicine. We have coming up later on the show is Pastor Charity Craig, and she is going to talk to us about how being the guiding force of meeting the needs of others, and how she has done so not only in her current business, but her journey. And she's going to tell us her story and how she is giving back to others through her core values and what it meant to her growing up, who she looked up to, and those core values that were instilled into her. So that is coming up next as well. And then, we'd like to continue with our new segment. We've gotten some really great feedback on Biz Spotlight. And I'd like to talk to you about
Spotlight.
who we're featuring on Biz Spotlight this week. The name of the organization, it's a nonprofit. It is Hope for Homes program, and it's run by the founder, Diane Stagg. And she's here locally, but many organizations, nonprofit, can be spotlighted. We're spotlighting Diane Stagg and the work that she's doing in our community. Her mission is to end homeless one person at a time. Now, if that doesn't sound familiar here at Dr. Nancy Knows Radio Talk Show, it only takes one, the power of one. And what she's done was start her organization, Hope for Homes program, in 2013. It is a 501c3. She helps the homeless, veterans, the elderly. She provides safe housing for individuals. She also helps them apply for benefits. So for many, they've lost their insurance benefits. They've lost access to some of their resources in the community. She and her team provides that information, guidance into getting individuals back in the workforce as well. She works solely on volunteers and donations. Ways that you can give back is volunteer. Also donate. What a wonderful time of year to do such a thing. She offers guidance for the Human Services Campus resource. It's a pocket guide. It's a PDF, and this is information that can be useful for all individuals here locally, but nationally as well. Your local state services department can provide a hotline and numbers for departments and organizations that can help individuals in need within the community. To name a couple of other programs that are a part of the Hope for Homeless is the Job Corps, and it's a community service, and it helps the youth. So she gives back. She helps the youth in going into the local community and volunteering services to help. Ducks in a Row. She also offers services that helps individuals with evictions, applying for state assistance, referrals, VA benefits, and notary services. So we'd like to shout out Diane Stagg for what she is doing in the community. We love what you're doing, Diane, and we'd like to share with our viewers what you're doing. And how you can reach Diane Stagg is the information on the screen at the bottom of her website. And you can reach out to her to donate, to volunteer, and if you're an individual that are seeking safe housing and shelter, you can reach out to her and she can give you information on what the necessary steps there is to become a part of her program. Thank you, Diane. Listen, here at Dr. Nancy Knows Radio Talk Show, it's so important this time of year to pay tribute and recognize individuals that are doing things in the community. They're oftentimes the unsung heroes, and they're not about tooting their own horn, and oftentimes they go without being seen. But we here like to recognize those individuals that are changing the landscape within their contact of resources. There are many of you out there, and we'd like to hear from you. If you're doing something in the community and you'd like to be recognized and debuted as a guest on the show, we're always looking for individuals that are expert guests in their field of industry, as well as businesses that would like to highlight some of their services, what they do, who they are, and why individuals need to engage with their businesses. If you're interested in any of that, contact drnancyknows.com, and there are tabs there that you can actually go to and fill out information, and it'll get delivered to our team, and we will evaluate that. We're happy that this is the time of year of giving and asking for forgiveness. If you don't forgive yourself daily, that's a travesty, because if you believe in the Most High, you are already forgiven. Learn to forgive yourself. And all you have to do is be better than you were the day before. There are no expectations other than doing it again the next day, even better. It's always a gift to be blessed to see another day. And when you have that blessing and they rain down on you, you are to be a blessing to others, paying it forward. Dr. Nancy's Integrative Medicine has been in the Arizona area. She offers 2 clinics in Scottsdale, and she's been instrumental in the community at large only for a short while, 2.5, 3 years now. And the connection, the network that she's developed, I'm Dr. Nancy, in the community has been priceless. And I say to you all, small businesses and individuals that are looking to grow your network, reach out to your local chambers, your local social media groups, your local city councils as well, to let them know who you are and how you'd like to participate in growing your community and therefore growing your network. We do have a segment coming up toward the end of the show, and it is called Increase Your Awareness, thereby boosting your health and wealth. And in that segment, we give you helpful tips on how to live your best life in the healthiest way, and also the best tips on how to grow your wealth, your network. What legacy do you choose to leave behind? What footprint do you want to leave behind on this earth? And it's of goodwill and cheer, I'm sure it is. We want to let you know that we support and celebrate those efforts moving forward. We have Pastor Charity Craig coming up on our next segment, and she is the guiding force in meeting the needs of others in our community. She's a strong example of a woman, no doubt, saying, I can do this, and I want to show you exactly how it can be done. And listen, if you're a woman of color and you're a woman, you do not want to miss this. Coming up next, Pastor Charity Craig. We'll be right back.
You don't want to miss what's coming up next, because Dr. Nancy knows. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Hi, I'm Dr. Nancy. Welcome to our clinics. We believe that personalized care and relationship building are the basis of improving health outcomes. At Dr. Nancy's Integrative Medicine, you gain healthcare providers who take the time to understand your health goals and find solutions. We offer optional medical memberships giving you peace of mind and quality care. We provide both medical and aesthetic services in 2 Arizona locations. We practice the highest standards of patient care. We respect patients' rights. We safeguard patient confidences. We treat patients with compassion. You are invited to call the office to schedule an appointment or online at a time that is convenient for you. Call to schedule 480-669-6452 or visit our website at drnanciesintegrativemedicine.com.
Hi, I'm Gary Charlson. I represent ProFit Laser Technologies. We have brought to the forefront the 3rd generation of body contouring, fat loss, inch loss technology that has not existed before. What we've done is taken the opportunity to review some of the markets and some of the other products in this market space and created a new generation of non-invasive, no downtime, no side effects, and no kidding, you can lose up to 2 inches of body fat in one 20-minute treatment. So we started our company about 5 years ago here in Arizona. My background is in the tech world. I started a technology company back in 1984 and ran that company for 15 years and involved with software development, grid platform development over that 15-year period. So I'm not new to technology. When I discovered the body contouring industry 5 years ago, I said, this is a big deal. So if you have a spa, a salon, a gym, we would certainly like to talk to you about the possibility of having us put one of these systems into your facility and making a difference with your customers and your clients, bringing added value to what you already have. So I'm very excited to be having the opportunity to be aligned with Dr. Nancy Knows and the opportunity to be on her program this next week. Look forward to talking with you more and sharing more about our product and our service with you.
Hello, it's your celebrity medical doctor at Dr. Nancy Knows Radio Talk Show. Wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. It's not only what Dr. Nancy knows, but it's who she knows. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
You're listening to Dr. Nancy Knows Radio Talk Show. Ask your questions now. Dr. Nancy is listening.
Good morning, everyone. We are back, and look who I have in the house today. My friend in Christ and colleague, Pastor Charity Craig. I want to introduce you to this young lady. She's doing lots of things in the community, and when I first got here to Arizona, I had the privilege of meeting her, and she's so inspirational. I said, I want to know more about what she's doing, who her level or circle of influence is, and how can we continue to work together and partner together and just share the light that she emits when she walks into the door, into the room. And listen, it is not just her smile, it's her presence. Pastor Charity Craig is not only a mother, she's a pastor at Turn 180, senior pastor, 3rd year anniversary. Yeah. And I had a privilege of pre-interviewing her, and she talked about a shifting season. And we're going to talk about what that means to her. Yeah. She's an author. She's writing her autobiography as well. And I am super, super honored to have her on the show. Because here at Dr. Nancy Knows Radio Talk Show, we get down and dirty and want to know you know, who we're talking to and keeping it real. Because, listen, it's not easy. It's not easy, and we need to know that everyone has challenges, but it's how you face them, right? We all have storms, but it's how you weather it and how you come out at the other end. And Pastor Charity Craig is going to tell us how she does just that every day. It's a blessing to have her on the show. Welcome, Pastor.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Nancy. I'm very excited to be here. Very honored, and I'm very proud of you and just making moves, so inspiring me as usual. From the first time that we met, it was just like I don't like using the word energy, but that's what it was. It was just like you were positive, I was positive, and the same spirit, right? And love means love. And that's what I found. It was like a first time meeting you. And I was like, you know what? This one right here I can connect with. I don't connect with many, but you are one of those ones. And every time we just connect, every time we meet up, it's just, we make moves.
I know
And
it.
so I'm excited about being here today.
You know, Pastor, it's almost that time again to make our poster boards for the new year.
That's right. We actually have a
And-
virtual event coming up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to have to tell us about that,
I
but we
will.
want to get to know you first.
Absolutely.
So tell us, who is Pastor Charity Craig? Like, who's been your mentors? Who
Yeah.
has been life-changing for you?
Yeah. So, who is Pastor Charity Craig? Well, it starts off with the woman, right? Just an individual that had a call from an early age. I was raised in ministry, actually literally born in ministry. My parents, they're pastors. And so, matter of fact, they just celebrated 47 years of marriage yesterday.
Wow.
So happy anniversary, and also happy birthday to my brother. So I want to give those two shout outs.
Very
But
cool.
just growing up in ministry and seeing everything, my parents never pushed ministry on any of us, but I knew that there was always something that was pulling me. So fast forward all those years, I've been a church administrator, I've been a youth director, I've been a youth teacher, all the way to having 200 young people, having a little youth club, so I've always been connected to the younger generation. And so fast forward to 2012, when I actually felt the call to be a senior pastor. I'd always been for about 5 years, I was an assistant pastor. But I felt the call to being a senior pastor, and that's when I started Turn 180 Church. Turn 180 Church, and that was after a tumultuous time in my life where it was God saying, it's time. I want you to step out into who you are and allow me to heal you in the process. And so that has been the journey of these 3 years of hearing from God, understanding who He's created me to be as an individual, as a woman of God, and also as one that is called, right, to the fivefold ministry gifts. And so for a long time, I to be honest with you, I suffered with a lot of low self-esteem because really in the church, it's kind of looked down upon. You need a man, a single woman, the whole thing of divorce. But I said, I know the voice of God. When we pray, God speaks to us. And whether or not someone has whether or not someone else agrees, whether or not someone has their opinion, at the end of the day, you know what you heard. And so that's so over the past 3 years, we just celebrated 3 years, as you just said, and we've seen God's faithfulness from starting in my living room with only about 4 people. 4 weeks later, after starting 4 weeks later, God gave us a movie theater. Nice. After that, it's like, okay, it's time to move. And so we moved into Metro Center Mall.
Okay.
And so every time He said, I will always make sure that you have a place to reside, to take my people. And so now, of course, there's a shift called 2020, we don't know what's going to call virtual ministry, right? Mm-hmm. So that is now the shift that, hey, God, how do we reach more people outside of the building?
That's right.
And so everything around us is shifting, so we got to move with it.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I know that you were doing some virtual ministry work prior to COVID.
Yes.
And now COVID is here. You haven't skipped or missed a beat with all of that.
Right.
You're still reaching individuals. You're still feeding your sheep.
Yeah.
You're still being obedient. And that's what I say about resiliency.
Yes.
And how life molds you to, one, think outside the box. Don't let fear paralyze you. Continue to walk forward, one foot in front of the other.
That's it.
And again, you've been blessed.
Yeah.
You've been a blessing to others as well, and God rewards that.
Yes.
And I understand here at Dr. Nancy Knows Radio Talk Show, we often say, make yourself a priority, and you sometimes have to be still in order for the gifts to be downloaded into you to hear what it is that is needed for you to do.
That's it.
And so being obedient as well. And so who do you mentor? I know that your parents have been a guiding force as to who you are today.
Right.
And God has spoken to you to shift. And what projects do you have on the upcoming horizon?
Yeah, so I'm actually getting ready. So when you talk about the flock, the people that I've been assigned to, right? Like I said, I've always had some type of connection with the younger generation. When I first stepped into pastorship, many times when we get a vision, and then you're a doctor, so you would know about this. Whenever you take someone in front of the optometrist office and they show you, they say, can you see now? Can you see now? And that, so year number 1, I could see. Year number 2, it got clear. But here in year number 3, I'm even more focused in on exactly who, right? And so, and that becomes the shift of really focusing in on the younger women. Titus chapter number 2, verse 2 talks about how the older women are to teach the younger women. And I like the way that, the proteges under me, how they kind of say you're old school, but you have a new school look.
Nice.
so that becomes where they can look up to me as one that is older than them. However, they can still respect me to know that I have some experience under my belt. And so the transition now becomes not just us coming to the building, not just sitting down, not just me talking, but now in a virtual way, being able to really mentor them, check in on them, okay, and actually take them through the process of one place, and because that's the name of the ministry, and that's the anointing under our, it's turning in every area of their lives. And so whether that's financially, let's help turn this around. But sometimes instead of just me preaching just from a pulpit, now it's let me walk you through this process.
That's good. It's called relevance.
Yes.
And so the Bible doesn't change, but you just make adjustments to the current times we live in to meet the needs of our people.
There you go. Exactly. And that and like you said, you can choose resilience or you can choose resistance.
That's true.
And most of us, and with this whole 2020, with Corona, there has been a lots of resistance. But when we choose, the Bible talks about how he said, I set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. You just choose. So we can choose resiliency. We can choose, like you said, for us to hear, God, what are you saying in this moment? What are you saying in this chaos? And when he speaks, he'll give us direction. He promised that he would direct our path. He promised that he would order our steps. So if he gave us a promise, he's going to do that. So we cannot be stuck in the past. So the new is here.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. So tell our viewers, how can they reach out to you to support your cause, to come and visit you, to take part in all the goodness that you share? Yeah,
so I'm on social media platforms. Well, for the ministry, it's Turn 180 Church. So you can, on Facebook, you can find us on Turn 180 Church. On Instagram, you can find us on Turn 180 Church. We've been really trying to get more active because I've always been one that was always very active on my personal page. And so I've been now transitioning now to using our Turn 180 page. But that's where you'll be able to find, I'm having some upcoming events, upcoming announcements that I'll be making on how to actually get involved with it. It'll be an Eventbrite, because I want people to actually sign up, because I want to know not just you watching as just someone from the background and just giving me a click, giving me a view, but yet I want to help walk you through a process from beginning to end, having that accountability, having that mentorship, having someone who says that you're going to make it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I know that you're an author and you
Yeah.
published a booklet and it's called Confessions of Faith.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So basically, that also goes along with this where we're headed, right? Because as you are going through seasons, you have to have the words of your mouth in line with what it is that where you're going. You have to speak. You got to create an atmosphere to walk into. So that becomes the confession of your faith. That no longer speak in your situation, but speak in where you're going. And so this confession of faith is something that will be presented to each individual, so that every day of the full 30 days, you have something to be speaking over your life. It's more so of it's not just a devotional, but it's, okay, this is who I am. And when we say that every day, and I hold you accountable. Oh, no, remember who we are. Remember what you just said this morning. And so that, because the Bible says that whenever we meditate on the Word of God, day and night, we're trees and we're planted, and that's what we grow into.
That's exactly right. And telling someone of what you plan or aspire to do is holding you accountable.
That's it.
And so that's really, really great. That's so in alignment on so many fronts of what it is that, I base why I do what I do as well. And it all comes down to faith, love, unity, sharing, definitely.
That's it.
So I understand you have a nonprofit, Celebrity Serenity, and that was developed between you and your daughter.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, celebrating serenity. So, as a result of some things that happened in my life, one of those things, and I could be here for hours talking about it, but one of the things that transpired in my life was that my 6-month-old daughter passed away. Oh. And so in her honor, we created, because we were in the hospital from the time that she was born to the time that she passed away for 6 months. And so during that stay, we were at the Ronald McDonald House, and there would be individuals that would come and make food. And so in her honor, we created the nonprofit called Celebrating Serenity, and we go into the Ronald McDonald House and we make food for the families, because we understand that this was something that is very, very dear to our hearts. So me and my daughters, we go in, and sometimes we even bring other church members and other people with us, and we donate the food to cook and then give it out.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Leading by setting an example.
Yes.
Holding yourself accountable to things that you would do, and when you ask others of it, you've done the same.
That's it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely amazing. We are out of time for this one segment, but we are going to be back with Pastor Charity Craig with more helpful information on how we can all enrich our lives through testimony, life situations, humanizing the things that we do, because we are all humans. We'll be right back.
You don't want to miss what's coming up next, because Dr. Nancy knows. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Hi, I'm Dr. Nancy. Welcome to our clinics. We believe that personalized care and relationship building are the basis of improving health outcomes. At Dr. Nancy's Integrative Medicine, you gain healthcare providers who take the time to understand your health goals and find solutions. We offer optional medical memberships, giving you peace of mind and quality care. We provide both medical and aesthetic services in 2 Arizona locations. We practice the highest standards of patient care. We respect patients' rights. We safeguard patient confidences. We treat patients with compassion. You are invited to call the office to schedule an appointment or online at a time that is convenient for you. Call to schedule 480-669-6452 or visit our website at drnancysintegrativemedicine.com.
You're listening to Dr. Nancy Knows Radio Talk Show. Ask your questions now. Dr. Nancy is listening.
Good morning, everyone. We are back with Pastor Charity Craig, and she's been blessing us with goodies, nuggets of information and knowledge. Knowledge. It takes time to develop wisdom and understanding, and it takes time with your walk for you to understand what it is that you're purposed for. Divine destiny, walking in your journey. Listen, no one journey is the same. It is not. And so that's why we have to be supportive of one another. And whatever it is their heart's desire and they're compelled to do, then support that, because you would want the same. And that's what we're here to do, is to support each other's goals, dreams, in a healthy way, a prosperous way, because there's strength in numbers. And when you unite, and it's with love and God is in the midst, how can you fail? So Pastor Charity Craig uses the Bible every day, in which, her walk in her daily life, not just in ministry on Sundays, not Bible school, not only on Wednesday, but everyday life. We live in trying times, and the closer you can get with your relationship and your faith, it just puts us all in such a better place, because the world is hurting and we need love at the end of the day. Yeah. Love will cure it, because where there's love, there's no hate. When you bring in that smile, and we can't always see it with the masks, but we can see it through the souls, and that brings light. And
I want to push them forward. What is your dream? What is your vision? Let me help push you. And so the individuals that I have that are in the ministry, they're hairstylists, they're entrepreneurs, they're college students. Some of them are even still in high school, and they're aspiring to do things. And so and when you talk about the projects that I have, it's their projects. It's me taking them through the process of starting something and completing it. And I'm walking them through, this is how you create an event. And we're going to do it. And here's the building. And here's the connections. This is how you network. So now it's me helping to promote them. That in the end, they are a complete whole woman. They're a complete whole woman of God. They're a complete whole business owner. Whatever it is, whatever connections I have, I make it. Because a lot of times, that's the missing link, is just support. That's the missing link, is that somebody believes in you and says, no, I'm going to hold your hand, and it's okay. And so that is now my assignment, is to see to it that the thing that I wanted, the thing that I desire for. Okay, well, if you see a need, fill it. Don't complain about what it was. No, be a need, and be the answer to the needs. And so these young people, they're longing for answers, and they need it. College students have no idea about how to do credit, how to, open up a bank account, how to purchase a house. My 21-year-old, she's about to purchase her house this next year.
Good. That's
so
awesome.
These are things that we want to see them doing at an early age, and just saying, you know what, I can make it.
Well, that's amazing. And what you're talking about are the essential building blocks.
That's it.
And
Of
meeting
life.
the needs of individuals that look like you,
That's it.
and are female too. I
That's
understand that a woman ministry and a male ministry is necessary, because there's something about the connections of like genders and that information that can be passed on to one another. And as a pastor, you see it all.
Yeah.
And so you can oversee and manage and direct as needed.
That's it.
And that's added responsibility, but it comes with the territory.
with the
and you've been
territory.
bred for that.
Yeah,
as well.
and it's because it's more than just a once a month fellowship, and I was like, God, but this doesn't look like traditional ministry. God said, but that's okay. What did I tell you to do? And so we have to go in the flow of what God is saying in this season, and that's what He's saying.
That's really great.
Yeah.
Now, I understand that God has blessed you with space in your
Yes.
church, and we were talking that 1-2 days max is the space is utilized, and you have space on other days of the week. What do you plan or propose to want to do with that?
Right. So, and that's where, it's like we are blessed to be a blessing. Right. We have space, like you said, churches, and it's just historical. There was a time where we had, lots and lots of space, and it was just sitting empty. And so now I have this building, where I'm only using on Sundays, or actually now I'm just all doing everything virtual right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where I'm being led. And so we have this space. Okay, if someone, a small business may want to have a small business meeting, maybe they want to do a recording, whatever it is, I have the space, and I even have lights, different things like that, and I just want to make it available for whether it's photographers, whether it's, people that want to do just a small event, want to make it available to
You
them.
have the space to do that.
Yeah, the space to do that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if, a lot of businesses have, been compromised because of the current state of affairs, and there's space available in Phoenix. And if you're interested and need space to promote or record or do some business dealings, Pastor Charity Craig has space to do that. So reach out to her if that suits your needs and it's in the part of the city that you could benefit from.
In North Phoenix.
She would love that. Would love to do that as well. Well, that's amazing.
Thanks.
You are doing some amazing things, and it takes a special one to really think outside the box.
Right.
And typically, step outside your comfort zone is not a very comfortable thing at all.
Right. Because no one else is doing it.
No one else is doing
So,
it.
okay, God. So you literally have to be, dependent on God for every step. And that's called faith.
It is.
We call faith, I'm asking for this, I'm asking for that. But when it becomes, okay, but I'm depending on him to order my steps today, that's an uncomfortable space. But I believe that it's in those spaces where God can do the big. And I'm
Very
excited
good.
about it.
And then, what time does your service air? And I understand it's mostly virtual now.
Yes, yeah. On Sundays at 11 a.m. and on Wednesdays at 7 p.m.
Very good.
Yes,
Really,
Turn
really.
180 Church on Facebook.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very good. Now, listen, we are so grateful to have you here, and we celebrate you, Pastor
Thank you.
Charity Craig, for all the work that you continue to do in our community and our youth,
Yes.
our young individuals, our young females, me, such as myself as well. When you become a strong leader in your community, people look at that. Individuals look at that, and they aspire to become and want to get to know that entity.
Yeah.
And so you're always, in the eye of an individual. And leading by setting an example, that you have done. And empowering individual, motivating them, aspiring them, telling them that they matter is very important.
Yes.
We need to continue to do that.
That's
We
it.
need more people like you.
Thank you.
You're
That's what
welcome.
we're trying to do. We're trying to pour in. I pour out and pour in, and that's how we duplicate. So I'm
Very
excited.
good.
Yeah.
So listen, it was such a pleasure to have you on the
Thank
show.
you for having me on.
And anything that we can do here for you at Dr. Nancy Knows Radio Talk Show, you just let us know.
Yes, absolutely. Thank
All
you for
right.
having me.
You're very welcome. We are going to talk about our new segment that has really had great response from all of you, and it is Increase Your Awareness, thereby boosting your health and wellness. Thereby increasing your health and wealth. So we have helpful tips on health this week, and it's December 19th, and Christmas is right around the corner. What are some of the things that you can do, particularly if you're concerned about your loved ones and you're keeping your circles very small this year, not large gatherings? It's really highly recommended. But what are some of the things that you could do to and boost your immune system so that you're not susceptible to getting sick, particularly this time of year and with COVID there, is vitamin D. Vitamin D, we get that through nutrition, supplements, and the sunlight helps convert that in our body. But did you know that it's much more than just having normal levels of vitamin D? And just here's a helpful tip to tell you that most Arizonans, now it's a sunshine state, are mostly vitamin D deficient. So how does a person feel when they're deficient? They feel sluggish, weak and achy, foggy-headed too, by the way. That's when you're deficient. Now, it's so much more now to boost your immune system and keeping it optimal than just to have normal vitamin D levels. You could also get a vitamin D injection to boost your immune system, to make your vitamin D levels a little on the high normal side, because that increases your immune system. It prevents you from getting sick, viruses and or bacterial. Did you also know that the life of a red blood cell is about 90 days to be exact? What does a red blood cell carry? It carries oxygen, glucose, and iron. Now, what happens after 90 days? Well, it gets what we call in medicine sequestered in the spleen. So it gets all eaten up and devoured and dispelled, and your long bones make new early red blood cells. Now, why am I talking about the red blood cell? Well, I'm talking about the red blood cell as it relates to the hemoglobin A1C. And if many of you don't know what that is the number, or it's a lab test that us medical professionals that order this blood test will tell you what your risks are for diabetes. Now, the A1C looks at the life of a red blood cell, which is 90 days. And we already talked about what's carried on the red blood cell, and it's glucose. So, normal numbers for an A1C is anything less than 5.8 or so. And what that means is when you have a single number like that as a result of an A1C, it means that your blood sugars are averaging around 70, 75 milligrams per deciliter. And so that's how we all can tell what the risks are for an individual that wants to check to see if they have diabetes, and or to monitor their diabetic levels, right? So if an individual is cheating on their diet and they're like saying, hey, my blood sugars are normal, the next thing you get is a lab slip to go check that A1C. So we can tell a lot about what your body tells us as opposed to what you verbally tell us, just so you know. And you can get that study done at Dr. Nancy's Integrative Medicine as well with her health screening. Health screenings include a health physical examination, basic blood work, to include a CBC, a chemistry panel, a lipid panel, and LFTs. So tell a doctor what your liver, kidneys, hemoglobin, diabetic state, and cholesterol state is. So just with that simple health screening, and what better way to start your new year off than knowing where you stand on your nutritional status. And then one last thing on health is infrared heat. Did you know that infrared internally heats your body up? So it increases your metabolism. So it's like an internal heater that doesn't go with all of the perspiration that you would normally do if you worked out. And so an infrared sauna, say, for example, can actually allow your body to burn calories without being on a treadmill. Go figure. Now we're going to go into the other side of the fence, and that is talking about wealth, on ways to increase your wealth. Did you know that, so Pastor Charity talked about her daughter buying a home. Did you know that buying a home is a really big taxable form of income? And it actually lowers your risk, your tax category. So when you're a homeowner, the federal government doesn't take out as much taxes as they would normally if you didn't have a house. So that's a tip for health or wealth. Let's talk about another tip for wealth. If you're a small business entrepreneurial and you're working from home, did you know that you could deduct 10% of your taxes from your home office, utilities, or cell phone? Well, you can. So that is home office, mileage as well. All of these are really great tax deductions. So going into the new year, you're setting some goals for yourself. I don't always like to say New Year's resolution, but I just mean to say goals for yourself. Short-term goals are always great to set, And then there's also long-term goals for you to set. Because when you set realistic short-term goals, it gives you a sense of accomplishment to set more for yourself. So that's certainly super exciting. So plan for what you want to do and where you want your wealth to be moving forward in 2021. Starting a business is another way to be a great tax deduction as well. So listen, I want to tell you about who is up next Saturday morning, December 26th. It is the Five Brothers. They will be in the house talking to us about their journey as African American men, how their journey was to become lawyers and a doctor. They have some really great, useful information for young men that look like them, that aspire to want to be and do something and make a difference. They're going to talk about how they're giving back in their communities, in their circle of influence, how they are trailblazers, how having a great mentor in their life has impacted their lives to this day. Also, of how important it is to be a good mentee. Did you ever think about that? That was on my last week's segment on wealth. Are you a good mentee? Can you position yourself to take in constructive criticism that's going to benefit you for years to come? We're super excited to have them on the show next week. Listen, here at Dr. Nancy Knows Radio Talk Show, we want to wish you a Merry Christmas, and we'll be back next week. It's not only what Dr. Nancy knows, but it's who she knows. Bye now.
Optimal health requires you to perform at your peak potential. Start today. Be the change you wish to see in the world. This was Dr. Nancy Knows. Thank you for connecting. We're waiting for you on our next broadcast here at EMR, eMotion Radio.